We're taught to believe that happiness is something we'll find at the end of our journey, after we've worked hard, achieved our dreams, and reached success. But what if the exact opposite is true? What if happiness isn't the reward, but the driver of success? Imagine a life where happiness itself gives us the strength, creativity, and resilience to reach our goals. Scientists have studied this happiness advantage and found that when people are happy, their brains enter a more engaged, focused, and energized state. Research even shows that happy employees are up to 31% more productive and experience far less burnout. And for those in sales, positivity isn't just a pleasant feeling. It leads to real-world results, with happy salespeople selling up to 37% more than their less positive colleagues. Let's explore the 7 principles behind this happiness advantage, each a gateway to understanding how happiness can transform not just our outlook, but our outcomes.
The happiness advantage, unlocking the power of positivity. The first principle is the happiness advantage itself. Positivity can alter our brain's chemistry, increasing levels of dopamine and serotonin. These are the brain's feel-good chemicals that enhance learning, focus, and creativity. But it's not just theory. Research has demonstrated this advantage in action. One study conducted at Cornell University explored how happy doctors diagnosed patients. Half the doctors received a small gift of candy, enough to give a slight boost to their mood, while the other half did not. The results were surprising. Doctors who received the gift showed better diagnostic skills and made decisions more quickly. It wasn't the candy itself, but the mood boost that activated higher levels of cognitive function. They became more engaged and focused, solving complex medical problems faster than their colleagues. The power of positivity lies in how it shapes our perception, influencing every task and interaction. Studies show that when we're in a positive state, we see more options, find solutions more readily, and make connections we might otherwise overlook. Imagine applying this advantage to your life daily, approaching challenges with a sharper, more open mind, and turning obstacles into opportunities. The fulcrum and the lever, shifting our mindset. Our mindset is like a mental fulcrum, a pivot point that, when moved, allows us to lift more weight with less effort. This is what the lever represents, the perspective we use to move that fulcrum. Research reveals that even a small shift in mindset can greatly impact what we're able to achieve. Consider the story of factory workers who are trained to view their repetitive, labor-intensive tasks as opportunities to master their craft rather than boring obligations. Productivity and job satisfaction soared as workers began to take pride in perfecting their skills. This shift in perception turned their daily routines from drudgery into a source of growth and fulfillment. In another study on mindset, people who were encouraged to view stressful situations as challenges rather than threats experienced reduced cortisol levels or stress hormones in their blood. They not only performed better, but felt better equipped to handle future challenges. This principle reminds us that perception shapes reality. When we change our thinking, we unlock new potential within ourselves. The Tetris Effect, training our brains for positivity. Named after the game Tetris, this principle shows how repetitive focus on something can reshape our perception of the world. For Tetris players, spending hours looking for specific shapes can make them start seeing those shapes everywhere. But what if we used this effect intentionally, focusing on positives? A study on gratitude practice found that participants who wrote down 3 things they were grateful for each day developed a heightened sense of positivity and resilience. Over time, this practice rewired their brains to scan the environment for positives rather than negatives, making them more hopeful and even physically healthier. Consider this effect in action. When we practice gratitude, we train our minds to look for the good, not just the bad in every situation. This Tetris effect allows us to navigate life's difficulties with a mindset focused on possibilities and solutions, ultimately building resilience. Falling up, turning setbacks into strengths. The fourth principle, falling up, is about resilience. Rather than seeing failure as a permanent setback, this principle encourages us to see every fall as a chance to fall forward. Scientific studies on resilience have shown that people who frame setbacks as growth opportunities are far more likely to succeed in the long term. In one example, Olympic athletes who learned to fall up performed better than those who viewed losses as personal failures. These athletes reframed their losses, asking themselves what went wrong and how they could improve. They didn't dwell on disappointment. They saw each loss as valuable feedback on the path to success. Similarly, Thomas Edison famously failed hundreds of times while inventing the light bulb. Yet each failure taught him something new, bringing him closer to his goal. The story of Edison reminds us that by falling up, we don't let setbacks define us. Instead, we use them as stepping stones toward our goals. The Zorro Circle, mastering small steps for big success. The fifth principle, called the Zoro Circle, is named after the legendary hero Zorro, who learned to master his sword skills by starting with a single small circle. He built his strength and skill within this manageable boundary, expanding only when he was ready. This principle teaches that big achievements often start with small, deliberate actions. Goal-setting research supports this idea. In one study, participants who set small, achievable goals each day were less overwhelmed and more likely to reach their larger goals than those who set ambitious targets from the start. For instance, a marathon runner doesn't start with 26 miles. They begin with shorter distances, gradually building endurance. Think of a student faced with an intimidating project. By breaking it into small, manageable tasks, they can build momentum and avoid burnout. The Zoro Circle reminds us that greatness is built on small, focused actions, each step bringing us closer to our larger ambitions. The 20-second rule, making habits easier to achieve. Habits shape much of our lives, and the 20-second rule is a principle that shows how small tweaks in our environment can make good habits easier to adopt. Studies reveal that reducing the time and effort it takes to start a desired habit makes it easier to repeat, while increasing the time it takes to start an undesired habit decreases its frequency. Consider a study where participants who wanted to build a morning exercise habit set their workout clothes by their beds the night before. When they woke up, they didn't have to search for clothes or make decisions. They simply put them on and exercised. Alternatively, for those trying to cut down on TV time, placing the remote in a difficult-to-reach location resulted in less frequent TV watching. This principle demonstrates that by making positive behaviors simpler to start and unproductive ones harder, we can influence our habits without relying solely on willpower. The 20-second rule gives us control over our routines, helping us form habits that align with our goals. Social investment, the power of relationships. The final principle, social investment, highlights the power of relationships in building resilience and happiness. One of the longest studies on human development, conducted over 80 years at Harvard, found that the quality of our relationships is the single strongest predictor of happiness, health, and even longevity. Research shows that people with strong social networks handle stress better, recover from setbacks more quickly, and experience greater overall life satisfaction. In times of difficulty, those with close friends and family by their side are more resilient and less prone to burnout. These connections aren't just emotional buffers, they actively improve our well-being. Imagine two people facing a difficult work environment. One has a supportive family and friends, the other is isolated. The first individual is better equipped to manage stress and stay motivated. Strong social bonds not only help us cope, but also remind us of our value, enhancing both mental and physical health. Investing in relationships is one of the most powerful ways to build lasting happiness and resilience. The happiness advantage, a blueprint for success and fulfillment. Together, these 7 principles form a blueprint for using happiness as a dynamic, practical tool for success and fulfillment. In a world that often tells us to work hard, achieve, and only then find happiness, the happiness advantage flips this idea on its head. By choosing happiness now, we empower ourselves to achieve our goals, strengthen our resilience, and cultivate meaningful connections. Happiness becomes a fuel, a powerful force that drives us forward with optimism, creativity, and resilience. With the happiness advantage, we unlock the potential within us, turning every challenge into a chance for growth. Now, before we close, let me introduce Todd Allyn, the founder and content creator of this channel and the mastermind behind Happyosity, the best personal development program of its kind. Todd's vision is to help people like you achieve true success and happiness by aligning personal values with professional goals. And before Todd shares his parting words, I invite you to watch the next video listed here. It's packed with insights that will support you on your journey to happiness. Remember to stay safe, stay healthy, and be happy. Now here is Todd Allyn.
And so, the next time you find yourself waiting for happiness to arrive at the end of a long journey, remember, happiness isn't just a destination. It's the fuel for every step along the way. By embracing the happiness advantage, we aren't just seeking fleeting moments of joy. We're unlocking a lasting transformation within. Until next time, remember to stay positive, stay engaged, and above all, be happy.